Hello, everybody, and welcome to Show and Tell.
Hey, or is it Shelter and Tell?
Shelter and Tell.
It's the best 1 hour on the internet. Take a break from refreshing CNN and come on by, show off your projects, see what other people are up to, whether it's 3D printing, sewing, coding, soldering, whatever it is you're doing at home in the safety of your bedroom. We would love to see it. So turn on your webcam and come on by. We have a full hour. We've extended it.
Yeah.
Twice as much.
We've decided to make Show and Tell 1 hour during this time where a lot of people are at home. We want folks to show and share their projects. We've been doing Show and Tell for about 10 years or so, and it's been half an hour. So we're doing it every week, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time, every Wednesday. Last week, we had like 30 or 40 people. We'll continue to get through as many people as you can. Don't worry, we'll be here next week. And one quick note, Lady Ada and I and many people at Adafruit are considered an essential business and essential critical manufacturing. So there might be some weeks coming up ahead where Lady Ada and I are not doing the Show and Tell or Ask an Engineer. That's okay. We have our team that'll be able to help because we might be at the factory doing stuff. And obviously, if we have gloves and masks on and we're doing things and we're going out in the public back and forth, we're not going to be able to stop to do a show. So you'll see some familiar faces helping out with Show and Tell. And if we miss an Ask an Engineer, don't worry about it. We'll do a video probably later in the week. But our focus, we're going back to the factory tonight. We're staggering shifts to make sure there's not too many people. And of course, but our focus right now is getting some much needed PPE. You've heard that term a lot for New York City, and making sure Adafruit can still deliver electronics to the COVID-19 related efforts that are out there. A lot of our electronics are used for prototyping and more, for things that might end up saving lives one day. So that is the only disruption in service that I know of. So with that being said, let's start getting folks in. Let's go with JP. Yeah.
Hey, JP.
Hi, guys. Good to see you. So I've got a few different things that are going on. I had a guide published today, which is on my flower watering robot. So go check that out. That's Chauncey the gardener robot. And last week I showed my Circuit Playground Express hand washing timer that my daughter had conceived of, and it's in use. It's actually blue tacked to the wall and runs over to a plug with a USB, so it's on all the time. And you can clap or snap to start it, and it does a little countdown. And so now I'm working on a Clue version, and that's what you see here. The Clue has a really lovely proximity sensor on it, so that's what I'm using to trigger it. This is my early prototype, just sort of getting things working, and then I think I'm gonna, on Lady Ada's suggestion, make it pretty using some of our Display.io custom fonts and graphics and things like that. But right now you'll see if I wave my finger in front of the little sensor, it says scrub away, and then it's going to count down. I just have it counting down a few seconds right now for testing, but you can set that back up to 20 or more if you want. So that's my project that I'll be working on, and I'll be showing some more details of that tomorrow. And I also, I don't know if we have a ton of people, if I can show one extra thing, which was just a shop tip. Okay, so
do you want to hide your screen?
You may be familiar. Yeah, you can just show my screen now. You may be familiar with these little helping hand things that are based on coolant hoses for CNC machinery or regular machining stuff. One thing I'd never thought to do until recently when I really needed it is pop one off and turn it into a super huge one and make a little teeny one, because these things you can just pop them off anywhere and attach them. So that's a really useful tip for having adjustable lengths of these things depending on what you're up to. So that's my shop tip of the show and tell.
Good tips. All right, thanks, JP. All right, next up, let's go to Brent.
Hello, we're all sheltering in place, shelter fruit. So this past week I worked on a few different things. I've been working on a photo module for CircuitPython, which will probably be out soon. It's a different way to use CircuitPython to connect to all of your IoT related things like Adafruit.io and the internet. So we have different ways to connect now. So cellular, LoRaWAN, and Ethernet and Wi-Fi, like tons of ways. And I've also been working on a temperature monitor. This is very rough because Noe and Pedro are going to do a great job with the design. But this is like a sock, and you can actually fit it right over your arm. And then this is an MCP temperature sensor, which fits right underneath the sock. And then you can go all the way up to your forearm and make the temperature sensor fit into your armpit. So why is this useful? If you're like me, one of these, which is a thermometer, is really hard to find. Last week I had a fever and I couldn't find a thermometer, and I went to the doctor and they said, oh, you had a fever overnight, what was your temperature? I don't know, like I was shaking. That's as far as I got. Because like toilet paper, everybody's purchased thermometers. Not everybody's purchased MCP temperature sensors. So this is going to be for continuous monitoring overnight, and it's going to sit on your arm like a wristband and go under your armpit. So 12 minutes equates to one reading with a more accurate temperature monitor or sensor that goes into your core, like your ear or your mouth. And then you can monitor your temperature with Adafruit IO, and I'll show that, share my screen. Application.
Yeah, and while you're sharing your screen, one of the things that we're working on too is helping folks use some of these tools to at least be inspired to make, maybe large-scale commercial things. So there's going to be large areas that have tons of hospital beds. They're converting Jacob Javits Center right now to a portable hospital. You probably want to have a temperature sensor on the person in there just to see, and you'll want to have it be able to publish to something, and you want to see if they're getting a fever, even if they're recovering. There's still something to look after. So a lot of the engineers that need to figure out these solutions who are going to be asked to work in a way they never have, I think we're going to see some interesting stuff. I do want to get more biomed uses of Adafruit IO, and so this is a good first example, which is very relevant. Now that you're okay, Brent, I was terrified when you said you had a fever and you had to go to the hospital. I was like,
yeah, it wasn't great.
I'm sure it was scary for you. It was terrifying. And the idea that you didn't have, like I remember always having a thermometer as a kid, but now you just don't, you forget that you need these things around. So this will be kind of neat. I'd like to also see us do a wearable one like you're working on. So if it's in Bluetooth land, wherever you're walking around at all times, it's also constantly sending it up. And I think that might be good for caregivers who have someone maybe isolated in another room, so they can constantly be getting the temperature. So anyway, sorry for, you got your screen up faster than I thought.
No problem.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, I should talk about how this works. So this has a feather sense in the sock or the enclosure that we'll have. And then it's talking to the Adafruit Bluetooth Connect app, which over Bluetooth, which is sending to Adafruit IO over here on Wi-Fi. So the app is bridging between Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And then you can see, this is actually when I was testing underneath my arm, the temperature slowly ramps up over like around 12 minutes until it gets to like a core body temperature, give or take a few degrees. And then I'm currently running it to look at battery usage. But this is something really interesting. It's something that's really good for Adafruit IO because Adafruit, like, I don't want to share my temperature data with other people. I don't want to share my health data with a lot of people. Adafruit IO has a very good privacy policy, and we have a very good IoT Bill of Rights. And your data is your data, and can't say that about a lot of IoT services. So Adafruit IO is a good platform for this, and then we're going to be doing triggers. So if whoever you're monitoring, their temperature increases or spikes over a period of time, you can send data from their wearable armband to an email address as well.
Yeah, I think one thing that we came up with the IoT Bill of Rights a long time ago, and I think people are like, oh, well, why do you need something like that? Well, guess what? The new normal is all of us are going to be constantly submitting our temperatures. So as an employer, the Equal Opportunity Employment, there's the Department of Labor in New York. There's a few different agencies that says you're now allowed to take your employees' temperatures. So now what? Now like what data policies go along with that? If you thought GDPR was bad, wait until we all have to deal with like, okay, click here to continue having your temperature sent to your boss. So very interesting direction that we can all go. So maybe everyone can look at the Bill of Rights because we made it a long time ago, but I don't think anyone was thinking about wide scale things like this quite yet. Okay.
All right, next up, Nelly and Pedro.
Hey, what's up, folks?
Hey guys, so start off with the face shields that we've been making. Made about 100 of these, shipped them over to the office. We can have these donated. There was some feedback from the ULCA, and they were saying something about the gap on the top. So no, I made an edit, so there is no longer a gap on the top. So we're printing out a bunch of these, and we'll be shipping these a little bit, like 2 days. And then to distract from all this, we did the MIDI guitar video. So
Yeah, so please check that out and share it. It was a lot of fun to put together. Just showing the different little demos like chords and some of the keys, acceleration mode, accelerometer mode.
Yep.
And
then some more
Dog.
CAD stuff.
Dog.
CAD, not CAD. CAD stuff. I'll be doing a layer by layer on all of the geometry and
Yeah.
snap it together stuff.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
Yep.
So be on the lookout for that.
Right, you can jam out with your dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah, we'll do it. We'll play at the end too.
All right, cool. So yeah, stick around. We'll play us out. All right, next up, Erin. Hey.
Hey, so I'm working on some face shields too, but mine are a little bit different. Today, I made a tutorial for just a sewable face mask that you can wear at the grocery store. Basically, hooks onto your ears like so, and it will protect you from just sneezing on anybody or touching your face too much. No, it's not got a filter or respirator or anything inside, but I did write the tutorial just for hand sewing, so you don't need to have a sewing machine or anything like fancy tools or anything like that. There's a lot of tutorials. There's tons of people making these online right now because a lot of hospitals are asking for donations of them. There's a lot of nurses that are running through their face masks like crazy. So the cotton ones are actually helpful for that. But I hadn't seen any tutorials online that don't require a sewing machine, so I made one. So that is up on the learning system. So if you guys are interested in making a face mask, it's a fun sort of little afternoon project that's crafty and you don't need too many crafting supplies. I made it from a t-shirt and a dish towel. So
Yeah, handy if you have, your young people in your house and you want to distract them for an hour. Cut up some little t-shirts, maybe get some quilting fabric that you have in your fabric collection, because everyone's got a fabric collection, and sew these up. So thanks for that tutorial, Erin. And yeah, seeing there are a couple different designs, but I like this one. So it's very simple and great for individuals to sew.
I have one more thing real quick, which is a little game timer. So speaking of distracting your children, I made another project. Basically, this is just a circuit playground that I hooked up to a LED strip. And what it does is it counts off a certain number of seconds. I've got a capacitive touch thing here. And then you push the button and it'll reset itself. So it's basically for playing games. You can time your games. I have it hooked up to a lime because the capacitive touch sensor will work. When you touch the lime, it will reset. You can try all kinds of different things around your house to just play with. But this is another fun little project. It's not real easy to demonstrate. That is also on the learning system this week.
Right.
So if you have one of those circuit playgrounds just on the shelf and looking for some fun crafty projects.
All right, thanks, Erin. Keep it crafty. All right, next up, Scott.
Hello. Oh, let me scooch over. I'm staying home like I hope everybody watching is, along with you folks. But I'm not working on a project for COVID. I took a little bit of a break from the sleep work I was doing, and I've been doing Beely MIDI, which is something that I wanted to do. So I've got this iPad here, and it's running a synth thing. And if I turn it up, it's connected to a feather I have here.
Just one note, but that's all you need.
It's one note, but it's doing pitch bend, which is interesting.
Oh, that's true. Very minimalist.
Yeah, I just wanted something that was a simple test to do. I didn't want to have to deal with a lot of code and stuff besides the things I was adding, but got that working. Should get it out soon. Next up is figuring out how to get MIDI back in as well, which would be great for controlling all sorts of instruments from CircuitPython.
All right. Nice.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. And his one-tone band. All right.
Next up.
Paint Your Dragon.
Greetings.
Hello.
Hi, I got buttons here. Little VGL, that's littlevgl.com, is a library for doing user interface stuff on microcontrollers. They have buttons and sliders and scroll lists and widgets. It's really nice. Everything just looks really beautiful with it. I'm working on a library to tie this into our TFT displays kind of across the board. So here I have a ESP32 on a Featherwing. Here's a Pi portal. I'm working on NRF52. So most of our 32-bit boards with like the Featherwing will work with this, and the touchscreen responds as well. I don't have a beautiful demo of everything. I'm just getting the core stuff working,
Looks
but
nice.
it'll make it so much easier to port this stuff onto our devices, because there's this big chunk of code that has to be written, and I keep seeing it copied and pasted everywhere. We don't want that, you know. So putting it all into one place and should make these kinds of slick user interface things a lot easier to do.
All right, sweet. All right, nice work. People can't wait. You'll be releasing that library soon.
RSN, yes.
Yes, real soon now. Okay, thanks. All right, next up, Drew.
Hello. Oh, yes. So I have the orange crab here. So Greg Davil sent me one of these PGA in a feather form factor, and I was playing around with the LED in the Verilog blink example. So here it is going through some different colors. But the nice thing about this is we have an FPGA, the Lattice ECP5, and it's supported by open source tools. So we can do everything from learn Verilog to run Linux on it. So I was also playing around with running Linux on a soft RISC-V core in it. So very, very excited to have one of these to play around with now.
Very cool. And if folks want to, you can go to github.com/adafruit/awesome-feather, and you can see the hundreds, if not thousands, feather format boards. This is exciting because Orange Crab went with the feather format. That means you get to use it potentially with hundreds of wings out of the box.
Yay, wings.
So
yeah, in fact, I'm hoping to find like an HDMI one or make one, because then I can have see my little tux when Linux boots up on a monitor.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Drew.
All right, thanks, Drew. Okay, next up, Liz. What city?
Liz.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Liz.
So I've got the version of MIDI guitar I made for my coding. So I won't go too much into it, 'cause I know the Rose Brothers have been showing off, but I thought it might be cool to also show how it started on a breadboard to this. But the other thing I've been working on, which I got on my screen back there, is a project I like called the Xylo Pi, which is basically a Raspberry Pi that, again with MIDI, is controlling some little solenoids that will eventually hit a xylophone. And the way I'm doing that is MIDI over UART straight to the GPIO on the Pi. And then I've got MUX sending out to some Darlington drivers for the solenoids. So that's how I'm able to use the 3.3 volt logic to 5 volt to trigger them. So that's been fun.
Okay, solenoids coming up soon. Nice.
Yes.
That's fun. All right, all synths.
Yes.
Land. All right, thanks, Liz. Okay, next up, Helen.
Hang on. So, hi. I've been. It wasn't. I've been working on the next version of my throat-based vocoder. So I'm doing a bunch of vocoder projects at the moment. This one is an earlier version. It's a Flex PCB. It's now on my throat. It uses a Beagle board and then a cape, Bella cape on top, which is great for music. And I've never done this on a live stream, and it was only working about 20 minutes ago, so I have no idea if this is going to work. If not, I'm going to...
Demo. Live.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if it works.
Okay.
Let's give this a go. So this is... Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
Okay,
Mac
cool.
MSP or
So
something.
this is a piece of music software called Pure Data, which is an open source version of Max. And this is a series of intersecting patches. And theoretically, let's bang this up, bang these up, and we can see if this actually works. Fingers crossed. Okay, so So essentially what this is doing is it's taking the input from the microphone and then it's outputting it theoretically. This is very, I think there's too much to do this. You can kind of hear the vocoder going on.
Yeah. No, it's distorted, but it is related.
Right. I'm going to turn that off.
Okay.
That's very feedbacky, which it doesn't sound like that when I'm not on StreamYard. It sounds kind of cool, and it sounds a bit like nice if I had a heart, that particular vocoder. If you know that, it's the theme tune to the Vikings, but the Knife are a really cool band. But yeah, I'll video it when it's not getting lots and lots of feedback from StreamYard. And
I like the feedback.
I'll pop it on my Twitter because that was just terrible noise. Like, I know this is Berlin signed up, but that was that was just terrible noise. But Pure Data is really
very avant-garde.
Yeah. And the really cool thing about this Bella malarkey is that you can load Pure Data patches directly onto this. So you can put these quite complex synthesizer sounds directly onto it. So I'm having fun with these. I haven't fully mastered it yet, but I'm having fun playing around making cool synthesizers. So I'll record it. And
everyone's staying in big tips. Stay home.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So, thank you, Helen. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention. So normally we, if someone's on the show, they can get a show and tell sticker. We're only shipping things for COVID-related efforts. So sorry, no show and tell stickers for now.
If you want one in a couple weeks,
don't worry.
we're back.
Get us in a few months.
Get
or
us
something.
later. Okay.
Next up, let's go to Kevin from DigiKey. I think I see Kevin there. Yeah.
Hey,
Kevin.
what's up?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Oh.
Wow, is this your home office?
This is my home office.
That's pretty sweet.
It is DigiKey. This is
I know. I have a unfinished basement, so I try to make it work.
I love this. These posters are cool. Is it you have the Make with DigiKey from okay, you know what? Just
keep the mouse pad.
What are you gonna show? But also give us a tour of your
Okay, so first off, I'll talk about what I'm gonna show. So obviously everybody's home with kids. I have 4 kids upstairs all day long. Circuit Playground Express is amazing for anybody over the age of 5. So I'm going to switch my camera really quick to a different camera.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of comments about Circuit Playground Express and MakeCode and more. They're like, this is what we're doing every day.
So my son is a pretty amazing fire truck bed. This is a picture of it. Can you see that? Can you see it?
It's cool. I'm jealous.
So what does it need? It needs a siren, needs lights. So I was working with the kids and having them help me with this MakeCode on the Circuit Playground Express. And we have it set up. Obviously, it's not done yet. But when you hit capacitive touch, we have lights and sirens.
Ooh.
We're working on 3D or designing a 3D siren print for this. So I think it'll be pretty cool.
All right.
So basically, just when you're home with the kids, grab your Circuit Playground Express and go to town.
It can distract them for many hours, and they don't know they're learning, which is a good trick.
Yeah. So you want a quick tour of my
What's going on?
Right behind me, you can't really see, but that's the new MakeBlock M-Create 3D printer, which can switch to a laser engraver in about 3 seconds. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun playing with it at home. I do have a mini fridge in my office. And I'm not going to turn the camera too much, but my wife's desk is sitting right here because she's also works at DigiKey and is working from home. We now, in a matter of about 4 days, we have 2,000 people working from home.
Yeah, there was a really big transition that a lot of companies had to do. We have most of our staff that can work from home, or at least well over half. But there was a lot of people that they never had the need if they're in fabrication. You can't run a pick and place machine from home. So it was neat to test all of these tools, and it was also neat to bring people together using some of these things. One thing I should mention is if you can't get your parts at Adafruit, please go to digikey.com. We're partnering with them specifically so folks can get our stuff. In fact, they'll be components and electronics that are not in the Adafruit store, like Circuit Playground Expresses, but DigiKey will have them. So make an account now on digikey.com, and soon we'll have updates on our site, so you know exactly, like, oh, you want a clue? Clue the board, not like get a clue. I was speaking. I have a little magnifying glass here. I see you. So DigiKey will be pretty much the only place to get orders that aren't COVID-19 effort related for a lot of Adafruit things. So I just want to also say special thanks to Kevin and his team who helped make that happen. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, and we also are considered essential, similar to you guys. The Minnesota governor just today announced that we are now shutting down, basically.
Yeah, you were called critical manufacturing.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So.
No, I mean, like every electronics, medical, military, safety company uses DigiKey parts. So you guys are an essential part of America. You got to stay open.
We are, and we're actually working with the University of Minnesota to work on some open source ventilators for hospitals. It's a pretty cool story. If you just Google it, DigiKey University of Minnesota.
Yeah, I posted it up on our blog.
Yeah, that's right. It is up on the blog. So it's all very exciting. It's scary times, but it's really cool to see how everybody's coming together to make the best out of it. It's pretty amazing.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kevin. If you don't mind, come back every week and give us some updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll do my best. I mean, there's a lot of great things in here, but I'll give you updates on DigiKey and stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah. All right.
How to distract your kids. Circuit Playground Express.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Next
All right,
up,
let's go back. And
Emily
and Mike.
and Mike.
Hello, Emily
Hey,
and Mike.
welcome back.
Hello. So last week we showed our sizing test and our first attempt at making a phone holder for the back of a seat in the car, but it didn't work because the angle was too high, and when you went up a hill, phone fell out. So today we have our Mark II phone in.
Okay.
And so now that
I like the little, okay, maybe you need a third side.
well, if you're getting that much of a bump in your car, I think you have other problems.
All right.
So
But
we
now-
haven't been able to use the car today, but we did put it on a table and used it for her video conference karate class yesterday. So
it was on his phone.
yeah.
Okay.
So we did get some being at home use of it as well.
Okay, you're doing your karate practice at home?
Yep.
Cool. All right, get strong.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks, Emily.
All right, and then we owe you.
Yeah, kick him.
We owe you a sticker. So remember, what you get. Offer doesn't expire.
Okay.
If your dad's like, "Why are you kicking me, big? I'm practicing my karate."
That's right. It's karate time.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we're email you when we're back to normal.
Okay. Bye bye.
See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, next up, Dan. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here.
Hey.
Hey, so I've been playing this week with a couple of my obsessions, which are number one, watches, and number two is weird exotic displays of some kind or another.
Right.
So I've always been a big fan of the Pebble watches. This is my favorite watch, and I still have it running after all these years. And I have kind of a long-term goal of building my own smartwatch someday, but I think it's going to be a while because I have to learn how to design PCBs first. So in the meantime, I made this little handheld device to play with out of little breakout boards. And there you can see the screen a little better. So I realized that Adafruit has has a breakout board with the same kind of sharp memory LCD screen that the Pebbles used, which are great because they're really low power like e-ink, but you can do much faster kind of refresh times on there.
I love the shininess too. They look really nifty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's another kind of these that it's almost like a mirror. It seems like they've kind of stopped making those, but this is a little thing I hacked together with the sharp memory breakout. I got these little proto boards from Dr. Azzy on Tindy. They're really cute, and these little metal tactile buttons. And then what's running it is this Espruino breakout board called the MDBT42Q, and they're really cute little breakout boards, and you can program them in JavaScript wirelessly, which I love. So this is mostly a developer device so that I can kind of work on software for it and just program it remotely sitting on my couch. So that's super fun. there's a little lipo and lipo charger in there.
Yeah,
So.
the Pebble wasn't JavaScript programmable, right? It was C.
It was C, although they actually had a JavaScript library for doing watch faces as well. So.
All right, well, put them all over.
Yeah, we'll see. I haven't decided if I'm going to stick with Espruino or not, but it's so easy to get started, so I love that. And then after I got distracted from my main smartwatch project because I discovered, I got to show you these. This is this great old retro displays.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they're called the DL2416, and these are made by Siemens and Lightronics back in the day. And so I got one of these working on a little feather, and then I realized that actually the row spacing on the pins of these is exactly the same as the pin spacing on these little Espruino breakouts. So I hacked together this little teensy weensy little retro watch prototype here. So this is just one of those displays soldered directly to the and I had to do a little bit of a bodge wire around the back to get the ground pin to work out. But so yeah, so I'm working on a little Espruino library that I'll release this week that does scrolling text and a few things like that. So,
all right,
but I love how cute and self-contained that is.
The cutest. All right, thanks, Dan. Good work.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. All right, next up, Techniac.
Hi, everybody. How you guys doing?
Hello.
So, apropos of everybody already talking about face shields, of course, now I need to talk about the network I created to get face shields to people. So, yeah, if you switch, I created this website called Hack the Pandemic about 4 days ago. And our main goal is to match people with 3D printers to hospitals in your area who currently need supplies. We are working with all of the New York hospitals and are branching out further into the southeast, down into DC area to work with some of the hospitals down there. But we're able to, if you have any 3D printers, CNC routers, anything like that, or if you can sew, punch in all your details, we'll get you hooked up with materials, as well as we now have a brand new development forum. And so we're actually working with Open Source Ventilator and a couple other groups trying to get new projects together to keep advancing the work that's being done. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be on Discord. Please sign up so we can keep making things for people. We're trying to hit a goal of 10,000 masks delivered per week is our ultimate goal. Love to see you as part of it.
All right. And if it comes up in the forums or whatever, please feel free to remind folks they can get electronics from us, but it has to be for those specific efforts. And they can email covid19@adafruit.com. That's where we've been doing a clearinghouse and kind of triaging the emails just to approve and do stuff. So, yeah, I'd only ask, like, some folks who are thinking of things, that's different than actually folks that are doing the thing. So
yeah. So we're taking the designers and matching them with the creators and with the hospitals.
Thank you for doing this, because that's what a lot of people were like. I have a printer, but I don't know how to help.
And like who?
Right.
Which design? Because not every hospital like.
Yeah.
We're printing the designs from. We were originally printing the Prusa ones, and then there was a little debate on the clearing of the Prusa ones.
Yeah.
And so we're now printing the Noe and Pedro design.
Yeah,
actually, because all the hospitals in New York have the shields in stock to fit those, and so we just need to print the masks and get them sent out, and they'll do the assembly there, and they're able to clean them there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And this makes it nice and easy to batch all. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, bye. All right, next up, Liam.
Hey guys, great to be back after last week. So I just want to start off by saying this is an augmented reality tool to explore your electronics, but if anyone wants to show and tell using it, or if you guys have any Adafruit boards you want to get up, that's a done deal, and we're happy to do it. So really quickly, what I have here is an augmented reality viewer for circuit boards. So what you can do is actually go and interact with the circuit board right in front of you. So this is a live board on my desk. And if you need more information about a component, you can just click that component, and then we'll give you the net list and pinout in real time. And so now if you want to go and explore a certain net, we can create that there. You can freeze it if you want to go and hold this board up to the camera and not have it under your desk. And then from there, you can go zoom around and find like which pin that net goes to. So it's really helpful for any kind of debug, assembly, or test work that you're doing, and for showing the design to other people through a live stream video call as well.
Awesome. This looks so useful, especially for stuffing boards or like, you're like, oh, I have to tap onto a pin, but like sometimes it's on the QFN, but it's like, oh, it turns out it's also available on this VIA. Like, so hard to do that in CAD software because there's like so many layers. So I like how it just shows you exactly where to go.
Yeah, you could go with this and get that VIA right there and say, okay, there it is, but it's tinted, but I can use this pin instead. We have all that stuff built right in, and we're just planning to make the tool more and more robust. And we want to save people as much time as possible, especially during the outbreak right now with people working remotely. This is a great way to collaborate on a design if you're in that like bring up and test phase.
Sweet.
All right, thank you so much. Make sure to put the links in Discord and the YouTube chat and more so folks can check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Icebreaker too. All right, next up, you want to go to Lily?
We're going to go to Lily and Professor G.
Hey, Lily, Professor G, and their cat.
Hey.
Hey, that's a nice cat. What's the cat's name?
Admiral Grace Hopper.
Wow.
Admiral Grace Hopper is the best name for a cat.
That's a great cat name. All right, that cat has a sign even. Do
Yeah.
you want to show that off? What are you going to show off today?
Yeah, it's since I'm a big Harry Potter fan, I made it my Cronus, which is a cat, and so it's hooked up to the Alexa. And when you say Alexa, expect the Patronum,
okay,
and then it lights up.
Wow, amazing! That's so cool. Awesome.
This is better than any Amazon Alexa commercial.
That's like the most useful thing for a voice agent. That's all I want is I want a cat thing to like.
That was great.
That's amazing. Great work.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do you want to say a bit about how you did it?
I used fake neon lights to for it to light up.
Did you draw it out and then you traced it with the neon?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Basically.
You can show the back.
And then the back is like that. I have to put all the twist ties in to make sure.
Oh, cool.
Well, you can't even tell. It looks like it's just like this perfect cat shape. Well,
All
great
right.
work, Lily.
Well, the only thing is just please remember to send us an email after we can send you stickers because we're not sending stickers right now. We're working on other stuff. But congratulations. This is a great project.
Nice work. And a great cat name.
Thank you.
It's for your work.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right, thanks, Lily. Bye, Lily. Okay, next up, let's go to Geek Mom. Hey, hey. Welcome. So
All
unmute
right.
your mic because we can't hear you.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Nice necklace.
I accessorized for the occasion. I thought it was appropriate. It's exciting to be here. I wanted to thank you guys for being, first of all, so helpful and generous with me starting a new business and being helpful, making sure that my board was compatible with Clue. And I jumped on last minute and was amazed I got on. So I didn't bring that to show, but I did want to show off. I've been laser cutting a lot of these pendants and put the instructions on my blog. But if anybody makes a donation of $20 or more to a food bank and then sends the receipt to pendants@geekmomprojects.com, I will send them a pendant of their choice, even Adafruit. So
awesome. What a good deal.
So
All right,
I was
everybody.
hoping to just get that word out there.
You heard the call. And do they have to be in the U.S. or?
Oh, yes. Thank you for doing Yeah, I'll cover shipping in the U.S. If somebody wants it outside the U.S. And we'll pay the shipping, that's fine too. But I'd like the donation to be to a U.S. food bank.
All right. All right. Awesome. Okay.
All right. However,
thank you guys so much.
Do you mind posting the links to your wearables that you've just?
To Bright Wearables, I do not mind at all. If I hadn't done so quickly, I would have had something to show with that maybe
come
by
back
next week.
But can you say the URL for folks right now?
Yes. Yeah, I have a coatable wearable line of bags and backpacks with an LED board that works beautifully with Adafruit Clue. It's a lot of fun because you can take your display with you and wear it out. And the bags are at brightwearables.com. That's just one word. And it's been a really fun product to develop because coatable wearables aren't that common. And they're so easy to code. They work based on microbit, which is a great beginning tool to learn to code. And the Clue lets you use CircuitPython to do some pretty amazing things and use all the sensors and the amazing display. I'm a big fan of the Display.io library. That it is so easy to do great graphics and take them with you. You guys have done an amazing job.
That's going to be like good API.
Yeah.
You designed that API.
Yeah, we'll come back and we have the hour-long show and come back and show it off.
Today or next week?
Next week.
Yeah,
next week.
Yeah, I'll bring it. I'll have it all set up next week. This was
That
great.
sounds great.
I'm
Okay.
happy to see you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Geek Mom Projects.
Thanks, Mom.
All right. Next up, let's go to Make It Hackin'.
Hey, Make It Hackin'.
Make It Hackin'.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm showing off a trophy that I made last year for a hackathon, a global hackathon called the NASA Space Apps Challenge. So I'm here in Huntsville, Alabama. We have a NASA center here, Marshall Space Flight Center. And this is one of my, it's probably my third or fourth PCB that I made, but I made it all out of Adafruit components. So it's powered by a Bluefruit 32U4, and it's using stacking headers. So it's going through the PCB.
Oh.
I have a Featherwing monochrome e-ink display on the front.
Cool.
I have the DigiKey analog devices, temperature sensor, and motion sensor on there, and then I have the quad alphanumeric display. And then the demo mode is just running NeoPixels, but you can go through each one of the sensors and things like that using buttons in the menu. My first time using the e-ink display, that thing's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's like you really, for your fourth PCB, that's amazing. You've got like NeoPixels, feathers, ink, that's a lot. And you've got it all working. So congratulations. You should get an award for the award.
The only thing that I didn't think about was when you turn it off, the NeoPixels stay on. It's because I wired up the battery incorrectly to the NeoPixel. So lesson learned. So I have another switch to just turn off the battery. But,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good work. It looks awesome. And congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Next.
Come by next week.
Dr. Footleg.
Dr. Footleg
Hello.
has a leg.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I hope that you're a real doctor that works on foot legs and your whole life. Is that?
So I have a chemistry doctorate. So.
Okay, there we go. But
Yeah.
why didn't you go into be an ortho doc? Because you'd be Dr. Footleg.
Yeah. My son recently said, "Dad, could we make a lightsaber, a proper one?" And I just happened to have seen the Adafruit lightsaber project online a few weeks before. So I said, of course we can. We just about got to the point where it's kind of operational. He drew some sketches of what he wanted his lightsaber to look like. So I've learned a ton of CAD skills along the way here because I had to deconstruct the parts that are provided by the Adafruit Learn tutorial and then reconstitute them to his designs from his sketches. So we've got the kind of design of the emitter, which is a bit different to the one that was published. He wanted 3 buttons so that he could actually control what color the blade lit up. So that's been remodeled to fit 3 of these lovely light up Adafruit buttons. So when they're powered on, they light up. The code is not yet written, apart from just a kind of bit of demo code. So this is running the code, the CircuitPython example, with a few modifications so that I could just test that I could color change the RGB button, because that's going to indicate what color the blade is going to turn on when you press the go button. And then we're also going to put a whole load of sound samples on. The other thing that I modified was this clasp. I wanted it to be more streamlined in line with the the body. So rather than have the external screw, I've done it so it's got internal fixings, and I've also mounted a USB charging socket in there so that we can program it and charge it without having to take the screws out and dismantle it. So I just thought that might be an interesting project to show.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Footlong.
All right. I will get with you later for a sticker. Just remember when we're back to shipping stickers.
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. Next up, we are going to go to Joey. Joey, how are you?
Joey? Doing good. I've been hanging out here at my parents' house in San Antonio and taking my temperature multiple times a day. So I decided to build a project that would help me to do that without too much effort. I've always wanted to do one of these augmented reality kind of displays. So it's an OLED feather wing reflecting off of this piece of acrylic here, and I'm not sure if I can.
Yeah,
it's. I know what you mean.
Anyway,
it looks like it's floating in front of your face.
yeah, it looks like it's floating in front of your face. It's just one of these analog devices, breakout sensors next to one of these really chunky batteries, and yeah, when it works, it's it's kind of magical. These like displays just like look like they're floating out in front of your. There we go.
Yeah, and how often do you notice your temperature change, and what are you doing when it does change?
It's hovers pretty much around 35 degrees, which is the normal for a forehead temperature sensor. And I've been comparing it to this little contact thing that I have, and it's just about right. And my temperature seems to be a little bit below normal normally. But I like the idea of maybe making it so that if your temperature goes up, you could like have it light a light and just indicate to you. Maybe you should, check with the real thermometer. Yeah, I'm just trying to like maybe streamline it into a simpler design.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I think a lot of it is like passive notification. Like you always have a temperature sensor on you, and it never really does anything unless it's time to check with a very accurate one. It could just be like, hey, like it's a trigger to do something else.
Totally, yeah, and it kind of dovetails with what Brent was doing with the I/O stuff. This isn't connected to the internet, but it's a cool thought to like the idea of having a dashboard that shows me, So
yeah,
this is what I've been hacking on.
Nice work.
Good work.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Joey.
All right, next up we're going to Christopher.
Hey, Christopher.
How are you guys doing?
Welcome back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's interesting that Andrew is on here. He's also from Huntsville, and we work in the volunteering for the Lego League. That's what the shirt is, and he makes badges for us. It's really neat. Let's see.
Hello.
Okay, so I've been retro here for the past few weeks. There's a 8051 microcontroller development board, throwback to college days, and I was having trouble with an in-system programmer because it wanted me to install USB drivers and disable security things. So I used a Pi Zero as the in-system programmer. So the cable from the Pi Zero to the ISP port on the 8051, it's got a level converter in there. So I don't have to open up a web page, choose a file, and then I download code to the 8051.
Classic. Love those chips.
Let's see.
Workhorse of America.
So I don't know if that's visible or not. So we can change the blink rate. We'll go all on and all off, and then compile it.
Okay.
And then choose your file, and it's that guy.
New program.
And then
That's it.
It didn't take. But anyway, that's the flow.
You're using a $5 ultra powered Linux computer to program a $5 4 megahertz computer.
That's it.
All right, great work.
Thanks so much, Christopher. All right, next up we're going to go to TG Techie. TG Techie.
Hey, TG Techie, welcome back.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
First off, thank you so much for extending the live stream. That's super awesome, and it's awesome to see what the community has to offer. I'm gonna switch to, if I can.
Yeah, want to see
my computer screen? Ah, perfect. Oh,
you're there.
There we go. Okay. So you should see 3 windows in front of you. 3.
Yeah. Pygame.
Okay. Yes, they're Pygame based, but that's just because I'm using Pygame to emulate a display on an actual microcontroller. So I've been, for a couple years now, emulating and programming a graphical user interface framework that'll run on a microcontroller. So here I have 3 applications running that are all written in my API in Python. and they can all run on a watch. So here I just have a little color guesser, and if you get it right, it doesn't insult you. Here I have, for the second one, a little faux like social messaging or social media app. And this is just all mock-ups, but to make it a demonstration that you can have windows that can switch between different views using different tabs. And all the way on the right, I have an app my friend programmed. And he programmed 2048. Oh, it crashed.
Let's go right.
I promise it works.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, live demos. All right, so you made a game as well.
My friend wrote that game using my API. And got some great feedback. And lastly, I'll keep it quick as well. I have some demos of what this API will eventually run on, which is a CircuitPython powered Bluetooth enabled watch. I have some photos of my first experience BGA soldering using a toaster at my college. And then some photos of the motherboard, along with a video of it working on the program, the 2048 working on the watch itself.
Okay.
Just fast forward a little bit. Not great. Like, I can swear it works and live demos aren't great, but
All right, well, we believe you.
Yeah.
You'll come back and you'll show more demos of your watch
All right.
live.
Thank you so much.
will do.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a great day.
All right, we have exactly enough time for everybody if everyone takes 3 minutes. So I'm going to do Inspired Chaos, then Orlando, and then wrap it up with Old Crow. So Inspired Chaos, take it away. Go pretty fast so we get everybody else in.
Cool. I've just got. I've been messing with a Arduino Mega that I bought 10 years ago, and finally like getting around to projectifying it. Working with WS2811 pixel strings. I was trying to do a thing where I use the PS2 keyboard as the main like program, like the live control input for the light program. Found out that's not going to work too well with the 2811s and fast LED because of interrupt problems. So there's the inside of the box. I just made this enclosure with the cigar box with potentiometers and the Adafruit analog stick. Right now, the analog stick is just controlling what direction the colors are shifting. So that's down, up, left, right, and of course you can do diagonal down, up. So my goal is to make a larger screen that's still like 3-inch pitch, like low resolution, but does all these animations and patterns to live user input. So that's how that's come along so far. It's great to be on the show and tell for the first time.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. When we're shipping other things, let us know. We'll send you a sticker.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, Orlando, if you're still here, it looks like you are here.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a couple minutes, and then we'll go over to Old Crow. So take it away.
Cool. I never quite remember if I showed this off already, but I made a breakout for the LMP 91000 potentiostat IC. I don't know if everyone knows what a potentiostat is, but it's an instrument that allows you to do that works in a glucometer. So it allows you to take blood glucose measurements, those types of things. It can also be used for a lot of electrochemical studies, such as I'm using it to detect the presence of substances in sweat for actually wearable sweat monitors. So you can use it to measure dehydration, measuring sodium, potassium, glucose, et cetera, and all those types of biomarkers in sweat. So this potentiostat IC is from Texas Instruments. It's pretty handy. It's a somewhat difficult to solder package, so I made it on a little breakout. But other than that, I actually made a little, an even more interesting breakout board for it. So this has the SAN-D21 microcontroller with a voltage regulator and thing and all that. So I built a nice little library for it. It's on GitHub, so people can download that and use it to make their own little sweat sensor or any sort of electrochemical tester. So if you go on GitHub, it's actually on my works GitHub. You're not to share a screen.
Why don't you post it in the chat if you can too.
Okay, will do. So this is just the GitHub for the
Yeah,
LMP.
it's a GitHub. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
This is the one for the LMP 91000. So it gives you all the various functions to control different things. It has examples, et cetera, et cetera. And I also have one for the little the more interesting board that I made here, which you can actually program the Arduino, all that. So you can make a little sweat sensor yourself. So if anyone has any questions on that, they can ask me in the chat. But that's about it.
Cool. If you could do a before and after where you do before and then have a bunch of Gatorade and then sweat again and see if Gatorade really does something, that'd be cool if you could post it up.
Yeah, cool. I'll do something like that. Thanks.
Okay, cool.
Quantified sweat.
All right, and Roberto was hiding underneath there. So if Roberto and Old Crow agree, Roberto, you do a minute, and then Old Crow, you get a couple minutes. Because I know you have a couple big things to show. Roberto, speed round it.
Hey guys, yeah, my speed round would be a meta show and tell, which is the backpack I won from y'all. I think about
Yay!
So I won that, and then I'm wearing just a watch that I think is cool. And my main show and tell is based on the Huzzah feather. And back in, oh no, I don't have the screen sharing add-on.
Go fast.
But I'll mention that I think it was in December sometime. Y'all gave is it sharing screen now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not. And now another person just joined. So you got 10 seconds.
You have 10 seconds. Finish.
Okay, no problem. So in December, y'all had an announcement about sharing this solar kit. And then I ended up getting one from Voltaic. And I made a little birdhouse with a temperature and humidity sensor that uses the Alpha Quad display. And the source code is available here. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Roberto.
And Biniam, I think that's Biniam over there. Is it?
Yeah.
So say hi. Biniam actually works with Adafruit. Say hi, and then we're going to do the last person.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay.
How you doing?
Good. Hanging in there.
All right. I will see you on Basecamp and in Slack, and stay safe, okay?
All right.
I just wanted to see you. All right. So let's go to Old Crow. Play us out.
Hey guys, I've wanted to do this for years. I have finally installed PV arrays on my roof. 31 panels, 320 watts per panel for just under 10 kilowatts. And on a day like this was taken Friday. These were installed Friday. Even on a cloudy day like this, I was getting over a kilowatt production. But on a nice sunny day like today, I was getting about 7. And I figure in high summer, I'll get closer to the theoretical max of 9.9. But it's already working well because I was shoving about 4 kilowatts back to the power company. It'll get a little more interesting when I have both of my AC systems going. But like I said, years in the making, I've finally got my own power system.
Right.
Next is the battery system. I'm not going to go with a power wall or anything. I'm probably going to do something involving forklift batteries, but that's down the road. I'll tell you about that when that happens.
All right. Thanks, Marco. Thanks for coming by. All right, now Pedro, play us out.
All right, just something real quick.
We can't hear it.
That's cool. It's just
Here we go. Hear that? Okay, yeah, maybe it's really hard. All right. Oh gosh. Yeah. Hold on. Is it working? Yeah, it's working.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
We will be here next week, 7 p.m. This is the world's largest online show and tell. Work on the projects all week for the folks that are having some time at home. Now's a great time to work on the projects and show and share them. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Ask an Engineer starts in 1 minute. See you next week.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.